Oh, hey, Easy Penny Shopping here, and hello to all you beautiful Dollar General penny shoppers out there. So, I wanted to come on here today because I wanted to teach you all how to get more pennies. Now, I know I make it look easy, but in real life it's not. Again, I've been doing this for over 3 years in remodels. So, I've been to over, I don't know, I stopped counting, 200, 250, somewhere in there. And it's one of those things that you really can't teach somebody everything that's going to happen in a remodel until you literally go through it yourself. So that's where this comes into play. All right. So there is a bit of an algorithm to remodel penny shopping. I just made that up. But in my mind, there are ways for you to get more pennies faster. That's right. Now, me personally, I don't go into remodels anymore trying to get the longest receipt or trying to get the most pennies. That's not my goal. I go in basically to get what I want or I need, or my friends, my family, or of course, if there's new stuff going, then I'm going to go for it for all of you. But I understand in the beginning, I mean, it's still about the rush. It's still about getting that super long receipt and the most pennies. So I'm going to teach you how. Now, I'm going to do two versions of this video. One is going to be in much more detail for my Penny Locos. That is my top paid membership for remodels and a lot more information. But then I'm going to have the public version as well, because no, you don't have to join a membership in order to learn how to do this. All right. There's plenty of my videos already out there that's going to teach you how to kill it at a remodel. But if you're under a time crunch, if you have remodels this weekend, if you need to learn this fast, then that's where my groups come into play. And it's going to help you if you don't have all those hours to watch all of those videos. So let's get into it. Okay, now for this, we're going to do a little bit of math. Now, anybody that's followed me very long, you know, if I bring out the dry erase board, I mean business, all right? I'm not a mathematician. I'm not an artiste either. But bear with me, because sometimes I'm a visual learner, and so I feel like this could help, okay? So we're going to talk about some percents. We're going to talk about making up an algorithm. I don't know, but here we go, all right? So let's say, for instance, and I'm using easy numbers here, all right? So let's say a section that's going at your remodel has 100 items in it. By the way, I'm using penny dry erase markers. Okay, big intensity. All right, so let's say 100 items are in the section, and 90 of those items penny, right? Then you basically have where 90% of that section is going to go, all right? Which means you don't have to scan as much. You don't have to take as much time to find the pennies, right? Versus say another section, and I'm going to make it up, socks and underwear has 100 items. But again, making it up, only 50 of them go. So only 50% of that section will go, which means either you better memorize that stuff or you're going to spend a lot of time scanning, right? So here's your section, okay? If 90% of that section goes, then you don't really have to know what goes, right? So you go into the store and you go to this section, and pretty much you're just going to pull it all because most of it goes. Don't go into socks and underwear and pull everything off of those racks. No, not cool. Not cool at all. But if you go into, say, the crafts section, then you can pull all of it, or you know all of this goes, all of this goes, all of this goes, all of this goes, and then the only ones that don't go are here, right? So you're going to end up with 100 items times however many are on each hang thing, right? Then you have more pennies. It's an algorithm. It's a penny algorithm. All right? That's what you want to stick with. I'm going to show you these sections that you can grab more faster and end up with more pennies. It's not rocket science. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a mathematician. This is just basic common sense. And anybody that's new to remodel penny shopping, or anybody that maybe just isn't picking it up as quickly, you really don't have to pick much up in order to get most of a section and end up with 1,000 items. If there's 100 items that go and there's 10 of each one, you've got 1,000 pennies. Bam, 5 minutes, 1,000 pennies, score. Let's start off with the oldies but goodies. Good old mossy oak. Most of the section goes, so it's a good one for newbies to go to. Pull everything and then scan, scan, scan. Number 9 would be our fitness section. Now, we had some stuff on clearance, but all of those have pennies. So now you can grab everything in the fitness section and just make sure you scan before you get to the register. Coming in at number 8 would be our coloring book section. Keep in mind, every remodel is different, but a lot of our coloring books, crossword puzzles, even markers, crayons, whatever in that section may go. Shoes and slippers, the ones that are hanging. This one, literally 99% of this section goes. I would grab it all, and there are only a couple that won't fall in. Coming in at number 6 will be our old crafts section. Now, we have old crafts and new crafts, but if you want to stock up, you definitely want to look for these boxed art sets. They're usually going to be on a bottom shelf, and most likely there's going to be crazy overstock on a top shelf. Section number 5 would be our new craft section. Yep, I said new, and I feel like this is where you're going to get the most pennies, but yes, there are a lot of little items. But 90% of this section will go, and because it is a newer section, it should be loaded. And there are a lot of good items, especially the markers and pens. Again, 99% of those go, so you can get hundreds of those pennies. Number 4 would be our Jaru or dollar toy section. Now, look at this section. Yes, and pretty much 99% of it goes. So you can easily get 1,000 pennies just in one section. Coming in at the number 3 spot would be our wall art section. You all have been in a Dollar General, right? Do you know how many pieces of wall art they have? Yep, well 90% of it goes. So you can clear that section out. Our number 2 spot, I'm going to give to the NCI gift section. This is one of my favorite sections because there is quite the variety. And again, most of it will go. And hint, hint, a lot of it gets put throughout the store. Saving the best for last, I'm going to put the number 1 section at our dollar snacks. You know I love food. Anytime you can get food for pennies, score. So, a lot of this section goes, and it does depend on each store, but you can get hundreds of usable pennies.